Aplomb. I don't know. I'm just saying words at this point in time. Welcome to the 34th edition of Slamcast. I am your host, Brandon Liggian. Woo! Yes! We are here talking live wrestling on the Retro Rim YouTube channel. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Fuji to my Yokozuna. I don't want to see. I want to be the Mr. Fuji to my Yokozuna. Mr. Michael Burhan. Wait, I'm Yokozuna.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I am Michael Burhan. I am your secondary host here on the show, of course, and the most good-looking man on radio. I'm the sexiest thing that you would ever see, and I am also the Mr. Knowledgeable about pro wrestling. I am your Ask Him, and thank you for tuning in again for another one of these lovely, lovely Slamcasts. Great show kicking off 2015 as we usually do. Well, what kind of secondary show into 2015? We're on show number 2.
There's 2 shows in 2015.
Yeah. So we're in the second show of season 2, shall we say?
Wow.
Yeah, season 2. So we've got 2 seasons out of Slamcast already. It's a great show. And speaking of our season 2, we've also got with us another gentleman who likes to share our British roots and heritage, but is also from the other side of the pond. Here's Mr. Nick Horacek.
Hey, what's up?
My penis.
Wow. Already.
I needed to make my penis look strong.
I don't know why you're talking about your penis. I don't know why your penis is up this. We're not talking about anything.
It needed to look strong. It was the Roman Reigns.
Your penis. Yes. This is episode 34. What we're calling it. Sorry. If Roman Reigns doesn't look strong, we riot.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a week in professional wrestling.
Yeah, it's been. You know what? I have to admit, bar the WWE, most companies have
we're
upped
actually
their
going to talk positively about TNA on this show.
Yeah. Most companies have upped their game. I watched TNA Impact this week, and I have to admit,
for a little bit.
Their re-debut on Destination America, and I have to admit, it wasn't a bad show. It was a step up from what they usually have done, but there have been a few problems, and we're going to discuss those in terms of what TNA can do to perfect their overall game. We're going to also talk about Wrestle Kingdom 9, of course. Host of hosts, Mr. Brandon Liggian, checked it out, and he loved it and enjoyed it. He told me to watch it, but I was kind of busy, not sleeping, and feeling like a zombie for the past week and a half.
You want to enjoy this. I entirely understand.
It's one of those things I don't want to feel emotionally dead while watching this. Watching it.
Yes. You want to feel alive.
Yes.
And be alive and full to be able to devote your full attention to this because again, Wrestle Kingdom 9 for those of you who watched it live on the pay-per-view, first time New Japan pay-per-view available live in North America on pay-per-view, and believe you me, they did not fucking disappoint. But we'll talk more about that a little later on.
Shall we hit the news? Because we've got...
Yeah, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a weird news from the WWE. They finally confirmed that the WWE Network, at the moment, I'm not going to say if this is going to actually happen because you know about Vince and his bait and switch. They've stated that they will basically be airing the WWE Network on the 16th of January. 2015, so that's next week. That's the week after my birthday, and they have put it at the price point of £9.99. So that's basically $16 that the United Kingdom are paying for this product. Now, I don't see a problem with it, but I'm still on my boycott of all things WWE. I'm not buying T-shirts. I'm not paying for the network, and I'm certainly not contributing to WWE's overall byline.
You're on a boycott of all things WWE except for WWE Supercard.
Well, because it's free. I don't pay anything.
Free game.
I haven't paid for any of my cards.
Okay.
I haven't purchased anything in the game app, so I've played it.
Your
It's
caveat.
free. Yeah, the thing is, if it's free, I don't mind. Like the WWE Raw and SmackDown, I'll still watch those because I can watch them for free. If I had to pay for anything, then I wouldn't watch it. I've now, if I'm going to watch pay-per-views, I'll watch them at friends' houses. I'll watch it at a bar. I will not pay or contribute towards WWE in terms of sales until they rectify this situation. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, go to lafights.com if you want to contribute to a company that actually cares about wrestling. www.lafights.com. Nigel McGuinness has got a very big upkeep in terms of the Kickstarter at the moment. Let me just check and I'll tell you how much they've raised so far from the $350 goal. They've had a big surge in contributors.
$350,000 goal.
$350,000 goal, sorry. I do apologise. They have 292 backers. They have raised 43,825 with 23 days to go. They are close to 100,000 in terms of their goal, guys. Make sure you pledge. Pledge. Get this thing back, because the moment you do this, the moment you pledge and you contribute, it shows that you do care about professional wrestling. This is complex, it's powerful, it's highly entertaining. It's a 6-episode series completely reinventing the genre of professional wrestling. If that doesn't get you pumped, if that doesn't get your freaking loins flowing, if it doesn't get you wanting to grab someone and have sex with them on the table right here, right now, I don't know what will. That is lafights.com. www.lafights.com by Nigel McGuinness. It's so sexy. It's so cool. It reinvents the genre of professional wrestling. Make sure you get a check out of that as well. And this show is also sponsored by good promotions such as Ring of Honor Wrestling, Chikara Pro as well, which is coming over here to the United Kingdom. More details on that to come later on in the show. So,
yes.
What does everybody think about this whole WWE Network thing?
Well, I mean, I think you guys are paying a little bit of a difference because your currency is slightly more valuable than ours in the world market. I guess I don't think there's any like sinister. Let's find some more ways so we can screw the fan base. You know, I really choose not to believe that.
I'm just wondering if they bought Sky out of that contract then, because Sky still looks like they're going to be holding the pay-per-views.
Yes, they bought, or they probably offered some sort of financial compensation.
Yeah,
I think, because I mean, look, let's face it, pay-per-view market still exists because of bars and restaurants.
Yeah,
I know there are plenty of bars, like Buffalo Wild Wings still has WWE pay-per-view events. You know, you could go to your local bar or local sports bar, and they would have it on. So it's still a big thing. The WWE Network still hasn't taken over that market, eliminated that market yet. So I was just noticed this Nick's icon thing. That's absolutely hilarious.
Party on Dean, party on Chris. They're a two-man band.
They are a two-man band. I mean, God, can you imagine that with Heath Slater? God, the pop that would get.
Oh shit!
It would melt the building. So anyway, WWE Network. Yeah, I think you guys are going to get it. Vince McMahon himself wouldn't, put himself out
I think Vince has been making a lot of bad decisions recently. I don't think there is a rumor going around, and I'm kind of sharing the general consensus of that rumor. I think he's slowly going crazy.
Oh well, all right. Let's face it. All true genius, and we call him McMahon a genius. I think at this point.
Of course, he is a genius.
All true genius is crazy. So. Inherently by being the genius promoter that he is categorically fucking nuts.
So am I basically a nerd genius? So that means I'm crazy?
Yeah. I am a criminal genius, so yes. Ow, fuck, I just hit my hand on a wall.
Ouch.
Yeah, see, just talking about genius, and I just smacked my fist into a wall.
He's a genius. But yeah, so... going on from that as well, we do have a few more little bits of news. TNA made their debut on Destination America this week to a very resounding, I would say, kind of...
It wasn't terrible!
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but there were mistakes made. I think there's... but I do like the
I didn't watch it enough. I have to give it an incomplete grade, but what I did watch was the Aries low-key match, and, that match did not disappoint me.
By the way, guys, if you want to talk to us, you can go to our forums, facebook.com/forums/Wrestle Revolution. That's our forums. We are growing. We're nearly up to 50 strong on that forum. People are joining us, talking wrestling. We post anything from wrestling to memes to loads of other stuff, including a lovely Rosa Mendez meme that Nick posted on there, which I thought was hilarious.
I see. I noticed. All right, we'll talk about Rosa Mendez maybe a little later. But I had this about going on about TNA.
Michael Hayes' dick looked strong in that picture.
Real strong. Real strong. Real strong. Fucking hell. What I was gonna say about TNA. Look, I felt like they're not starting over. Like this wasn't like when Russo was brought back into WCW that one night on Nitro, and they fucking scrapped everything and they started anew right from that moment on.
I still thought that was the shittiest gimmick.
God, again.
Yeah, it was like
so
where Sid had to give the title back, and Sid was like,
"Yeah,
I'm the champion. What the fuck are you doing?" I did love that. That was the only thing I liked about that. When they were doing that, I was just like, "What?" Yeah, we're starting from zero. Give the belts back. Yeah, that legitimized the belt.
Sid is
that legitimates the belt, doesn't it? Yeah.
When Sid is the practical guy. You know?
Yeah. Sid's Mr. Rational. Do you know what I mean? You know there's a problem.
Oh my god. I ain't shit, crybaby.
But it did make me laugh, and
But like, you know what I'm saying though? It felt like they really kind of were starting over on Destination America.
They
really what I read on the internet is they were really kind of finally washing off the Hogan Bischoff era, the stink.
So basically they were washing off,
and that was a massive
dirtiness.
stink.
Yeah, it's basically
yes.
Dixie took a long shower after every bad decision that she made. The booking, I will have to point out, because I watched it in its entirety, there was a few things, and for those of you who don't want me to tell you the spoilers, there are going to be spoilers based on this, as they way to put it.
Yeah, it's been 48 hours, or 24 hours.
Yeah, so I'm going to point this out, and it's something that I feel is a good thing in terms of the company doing what they've done. They're going for a more Smash Mouth, more reality TV type show, and you can tell with the way that the cameras are positioned, with the fact that a lot of this was done using Gorilla Cam.
Gorilla Cam, and the overall real lack of budget. Like they're literally running Impact out of the same building, or the same. Oh, excuse me, burp. Same building Monday Night Raw was first filmed in, with less production budget than that. I mean, there's literally just the lights on over the ring and no other lights on in that building whatsoever.
Yeah, and
they're literally like they're filming a house show.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not a bad thing, but at the same level, there was a few issues with it. One, I'm going to point out, MVP debuted a new stable where he aligned himself with Samoa Joe, Loki, and Eric Young. One thing I will say to the people, I thought it
was Kenny King.
No, Kenny King and he
Kenny King
aligned themselves with these people. I don't understand the reason behind Eric Young. He did have a pre-existing relationship previously with MVP. He supported MVP when MVP gave him the championship, but he kind of recanted when he was like, "I gave it to you because I knew you'd be a pushover." Do you know what I mean? The second thing on this was the Samoa Joe and Loki apparently are doing it for the money. After Loki lost the X Division Championship to a match in Austin Aries, and I will say this: the match for the X Division title, Aries and Loki know how to put on a fucking match. These guys,
absolutely,
their chemistry is beyond fucking amazing. You know.
It's amazing. Not really amazing, but it blows my mind that the WWE weren't able to figure something out with a performer as talented as Key.
I think the problem is they did know what they were going to do with him, but I think he would have eaten shit for probably 3 to 4 months. Yeah. And I don't think he
so.
wanted to wait, and because a lot of people.
I think they could have built relaunched the cruiserweight division around Low Ki. I absolutely think they could have.
But I don't think they needed
they could
to.
have.
I don't think they needed to. I think they could have basically had the United States Championship be like the cruiserweight division, if that makes sense. Be the one where you'd put on like the high flying type matches with the United States Championship, and have him as that United States champion who's going to be the fighting champion. And I'm not necessarily mean the underdog. I mean, the guy that you'd put in there to kind of. He could be the Randy
Who's
Savage.
Gonna be the United States title? The United States title should be defended, or the United States champion should wrestle on every show.
Yeah, because I like the fact that the Intercontinental Championship is now the de facto number 2 title. I do like that.
Yes.
In terms
well,
of
that's that's how it always was. I thought, in my opinion, when I first started watching wrestling.
And in terms of of that, so to speak.
But you know what I'm saying? I felt that you get what I'm saying when they're trying to wash off the stink. They had a new announcer in Josh Matthews. They were getting rid of Mike Tenay, which was really the last trace of the WCW on TV, the WCW announced team on TV. So that's gone. We don't have to listen to Mike Tenay.
I think Josh Matthews is a fresh face. He's younger. He's someone that they could really build their announce team around, and someone who's eager to be that guy.
Him and Taz had amazing chemistry together. Again, I only saw the.
I'm not denying. Like, Tenay is good. I like Tenay. He's a good announcer. It's kind of time for a change, honestly.
Yeah, but
exactly.
Tenay,
it's 20 years, man.
Yeah, Tenay deserves to be in a position though where he's enjoying his twilight years in a sense.
Give him a spot on the creative. I don't think I don't doubt his wrestling acumen and his knowledge of the business. But
Jim Ross
after
spoke
20 years on the microphone.
Yeah, Jim Ross spoke highly of him, very, very highly of Tenay. Because TNA turned him
I like
down.
to think of Mike Tenay is opposite Vince Russo.
Yeah. But I think that the one thing is I don't. The only thing.
Bizarro Vince Russo. Sorry.
The only thing I would say about Tenay is in terms of his announcing ability, he does tend to talk too much.
Yes.
He doesn't know when to shut up.
Yes.
He's become from.
And he will drop the most useless facts on.
Yeah. Which was another thing because they did have that thing on the TNA website at one point, which was Ask the Professor, and you would basically ask him loads of questions about professional wrestling, and he would give you answers. Which is, as I said, it's fine, but the same, the same reasoning is, I'm glad that they've moved to another direction in terms of his character. Now, moving on from that...
I think they're really... I do have a little bit more to say about this, if you don't mind. I really think that they're trying to position themselves as a genuine alternative now to WWE. Instead of just trying to compete with WWE by giving you a similar product, they know what... I think they're actually doing it right. They're actually listening to their fans. They know what their fans want. They want a certain style of competitor. Maybe they want a little bit of the sports entertainment drashed in there, but they want, classic independent, what's known as independent professional wrestling on TV. And that's what you saw. That match on between Key and Aries, I guarantee you, could be performed in a similar fashion, to a similar degree, with 1,000 other performers in all over the country.
But that's the thing; they are utilising their own performers now, which is great.
Yes.
Secondly, we've got like the stable situation now.
Bullet Club West.
They're called the BDC.
I would have just loved them. Like, I get what I got. They definitely got the comparisons that they were trying to get. Like, I think one of the first things that MVP tweeted out after Impact went off the air was BDC ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah.
The Wu-Tang Clan. Like, I get that he's trying to get like this kind of thug, kind of gang mentality and stuff like that. Like a group of guys that know each other, have been around for a while.
But this is the thing. They've got to basically make sure that these guys have a connection.
I would have liked to see them do, though, like a Bullet Club East. Like, they bring honor and, like, how Bullet Club brought Western tradition into Japanese wrestling. They bring Eastern... traditions into American wrestling. They come in, they don't really say anything. They just fucking kick people and shit like that. Beat people down.
They seem very Smash Mouth. The group do seem very Smash Mouth. And I think they are positioning MVP as the TNA champion at some point. Not yet, because Lashley regained the championship against Bobby Roode on the debut episode. Everything about it seemed very well done, and I will say the reason why. It didn't look like the constant running shit that they would usually do on a TNA match. You know, everything was well executed. You had these guys in masks that no one knew who they were. They debuted when they eventually left Spike TV, and then, you know, these guys showed up at the end, and Kenny King and MVP were seen in the background talking, like being captured on camera, talking about what they were going to do, and that they were initiating Plan B of their kind of the scenario, because he felt like things as they currently weren't working. I liked that idea. They also showed a bit more tension between Lashley and MVP, in terms of MVP wanting to be world champion, and Lashley, who aligned himself with MVP, being that world champion. And also they've created a nice little feud between Eric Young and Bobby Roode, because they did a nice little promo at the end of Impact, which was online on TNA's YouTube channel, which I can't believe I'm plugging this on here, youtube.com/TNA. I believe it's Impact Wrestling now. youtube.com Impact Wrestling. So it's basically one of those things. I looked at it and I felt, yeah, it worked. It really, really worked. They're selling the storyline a bit more. They just need to bridge the gaps, and they need to just, in a kind of a story perspective, fill in the plot holes. Why did Eric Young do what he did? Because I know you tried the heel thing of, I don't have to explain myself to you. Bullshit. Yes, you do. You were the company's top face for, God, nearly 6 months. I think it was shorter than that. It was about 6 months.
I mean,
well, yeah,
look,
I'm thinking,
how many...
Well, Eric Young,
there's very few
face for years.
Yeah,
exactly. He's been with the company since 2000. I mean, he started as a fucking announcer or something like that, didn't he?
Well,
yeah,
no, he started on Team Canada.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but they need to explain.
Jesus Christ, Teddy Hart.
It needs to be explained. It needs to be explained, because if they don't explain it, they will kill any momentum that he has. And they need to basically give Eric Young this kind of big push as a monster heel, because, you know, as the guy who has the backup, as the guy, they don't make him the cowardly heel. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You'll transition this guy to a legitimate heel now. He can't do comedy. He can't do skits. He's got to be the EY that you've been pushing for the last 6 to 8 months. Otherwise,
he needs to be the EY we need right now, not the EY you want him to be.
Exactly. You know, and it's the one way that you can show as well, seriously, because the company can show that they have taken a comedy act and turned him into a legitimate face of the company.
Tough guy. A legitimate tough guy.
Yeah. So they need to do that. And, you know, and next week's show, spoilers, they are going to have a last man standing match between the two. So that's going to be interesting. Now, moving on from that scenario, is there anything that you guys want to say about EY?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Nick?
I guess it makes sense. I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But as long as they explain exactly why Eric Young turned on Bobby Roode, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If they don't, what was the fucking point?
That's exactly it. And that's where the big thing goes. You know, and you've got...
That's what she said.
That's exactly what she said.
But
that's where it goes, because you've got to explain it. Now, you've got this whole thing with the bromans and the beautiful people teaming together. There was a Knockouts Battle Royal, which made Taryn Terrell... Brandon, do you want to say it?
What?
Look strong.
Look real strong.
Look real strong.
Real strong.
She looked real strong in this.
Until Awesome Kong came out. And
yeah.
Then, you know.
No, but, you know, and we've got, like, Awesome Kong versus, what was that girl's name? The Havoc, is it?
Havoc, yeah.
Yeah. And Havoc, you know, I wouldn't mind Havoc dominating me a little bit. Woo.
It's Lady Jeff Hardy. That's Lady Jeff Hardy, let's face it.
But, you know, those two looked very vicious towards one another. It looks great. I love to see Kong re-debut. You know, And
Yeah,
it's
that was good. I wish I was in that crowd for that. That would have been a cool moment to be a part of.
you know, it's one of those where it was a very good moment. They positioned it correctly. You got that big cheap pop out of it as well because people were just waiting fucking ape shit over Kong. The fans were really good as well because it was an intimate environment. The fans really made that impact. You know, they were booing for the heels.
Yeah, I think if they keep up,
faces.
I think they keep up that similar. Keep recording, or maybe don't leave Manhattan to record, and always keep those good, strong New York crowds, or always only play to, strong wrestling towns: New York, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Atlanta. Go down to Florida. You know, Chicago.
Yeah, and
But
it's a big thing, and I think they've really nailed the crowd reaction on that. Hopefully, these people are paying for tickets. If you're giving out free tickets, then you really need to stop. Number
they're not free. They're not free, but they're definitely not selling out because I definitely know a lot of people that went there on the day of and bought tickets at the
well,
door.
I will say, for if the company keeps putting on shows like this, I think they will start selling out. In my opinion, they just need to make it.
I think
get better.
what I think it is. I think they'll just have to move them to a bigger venue. I think
Yeah.
because if it gets more people, they'll move them downstairs to the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah,
What they call
accentuate the positives, negate the negatives. So anything you find negative on the show,
that's usually
away.
something you have to be done with wrestlers, but it's the first time I guess that might be being applied to an entire company.
Yeah. So on that fact, then we had we talked about the X Division title as well. James Storm and the Revolution.
Yeah.
Now this is a negative. When you put a new stable together, you already have a stable in place. By making this new main event stable that associates itself with the TNA World Championship, Storm's stable seems kind of in the background, rather mid-cardy now.
Irrelevant.
Yeah,
it just seems irrelevant.
Yeah. That's something that you shouldn't be doing.
Kind of like the Wyatt family was when the Shield was around still.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen how this movie plays out. And it's the same that's going to happen to James Storm because James Storm is a talented performer. They really just can't seem to stick with the gimmick for him. I liked the drinking cowboy gimmick. I guess that's only so far you could really go with that. I guess his new gimmick now, he's like, what, David Koresh or something like that?
Yeah.
So...
it's one of those things that
it's been done.
As I said, I don't mind it too much in terms of it, but it is something that you've got to think about. There's only two directions you can go: merge both stables, have it that Storm was working with MVP all along, and then have like this big, huge stable that comes from these two stables. So then you've got one stable that the rest of TNA are fighting against, or you turn one stable face. So it turns out the revolution he was talking about was against MVP and his people. But who knows? Who knows where they're going to go in what direction? I'm 100% behind James Storm. I think he's been treated far less in comparison to what he should be treated as. I think he deserves to be world champion. And being treated as a mid-card tag team champion player is something that I find ridiculous. He's a guy that deserves a proper title run instead of that 15 minutes that he got the championship for. That's the big thing on there. And again, it worked well. It did everything that it was supposed to do. I like the fact that the Hardys are involved in the scenario with the Revolution, and so are the Wolves. I have to admit, I like the new Wolves tattoo. Is it a tattoo they've got? Is that kind of a body paint thing?
I do not know.
It's got to be body paint.
They're trying to debit it with fancy body paints.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, it does. They've got
the
wolves' claws on their bodies. And again, you can see Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards committing as a tag team in TNA. They've basically even pointed out that they don't feel that they're going to go for any singles championships yet until they're ready, which is cool. I think that's a good thing.
Basically means whenever they want to. Because
Yeah, and apparently Feast or Fight is returning.
Davey Richards wants to go for a title. Davey Richards wants to go for the WWE, or sorry, called the WWE title, the TNA World title. They fucking put the belt on Davey Richards.
Yeah, they will do, because the guy's got work ethic second to none. That's going to happen. Now, moving on from that, let's. Overall, I would give their debut on Destination America a beautiful B+. It
Yeah,
worked.
I think that's it. I mean, yeah.
You know, you had good commentary. It seemed like a very good grassroots show. It's doing what it's supposed to do with TNA, which is legitimize it as its own entity. But in terms of what they're going to do next, that's totally up to them. So what about you?
That's where I said this is the first step was good. This next step, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, and then the week after that is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I like the idea of this stable, the Beatdown Club, Bullet Club East, I'm calling it. Which, why don't we just have the real Bullet Club? I don't know. That's just my opinion. I like it. I like what they're doing with it, but I don't know where it's going to end up. And I'm afraid it just could be another Aces and Eights where everyone's in it, and
well, Aces and Eights gave an opportunity to get new guys in, but you did have a lot of old timers in the stable, which kind of delegitimized the stable itself. It needed to be.
It got ridiculous. It got ridiculous. Is basically what it was.
It turned into another NWO where everyone else was doing it. You know,
it was NWO plus Sons of Anarchy equals Aces of Eights.
Yeah.
Or Aces and Eights. Aces of Eights. I don't know what the fuck to call it. Anyway.
Yeah, so, I will say, I'm interested. I'm extremely interested about it.
But what happens next? Exactly. We don't know
what happens next. They need to build.
What happens next could be a fucking train wreck.
Well, I've seen, they have taped, like, if you're into spoilers, go to WrestleZone.com. They did tape the other 2 episodes. I'm not a fan of the Feast and Fight gimmick. I'm not. I think if you're going to do the briefcase thing, do something a bit more interesting. I thought they got rid of that when they introduced the Option C thing with the X Division title. And the week after, you do get people explaining themselves, but the way that the spoilers were written out, it didn't seem that they were explaining themselves. But when I watch it, they may add that in afterwards, because I know they tend to pre-tape certain things and then add extra things in afterwards. So who knows? But yeah, it needs to go up. So if TNA can show that they can be real strong and keep moving up in terms of their characters, in terms of where the stories are going, great.
Creative-wise.
Yeah, and also
because I think in the ring they're at a pretty good solid point.
Yeah, and to the talent, keep telling those stories. You're telling some great stories in the ring. Make sure you understand where you're going and where your characters are going. Just please, 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 don't drift from this. It's the only thing I can say. Don't drift. So yeah, Nick, what about you? What would you give it?
Honestly, I haven't seen the whole show yet, but from the little bit I've seen, I mean, Kong's back in TNA, which is great. But WWE did absolutely nothing with her. They have her and Gail Kim on the roster, and they do jack fucking shit.
Yeah.
At least TNA will do something. So let's see where it goes. I mean, strong start. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where I think, in terms of what they're doing, I'm happy with the direction that it's going in. Just keep the momentum going, keep pushing your talent, and keep making things work, and I think it'll be fine. Now, moving on from that, let's talk about the Royal Rumble, because we've got Brian announced that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. We talked about that a little bit. There's been some speculation going on the internet at the moment as to who's going to win. WWE apparently going to be changing their plans they're going back and forth in terms of who they want to win the Rumble itself. I'm putting my finger on the pulse here and saying Bryan. I think this year is going to be the year of Daniel Bryan, and I think if they push Roman Reigns aside this year, give him a legitimate mid-card run, and build him slowly and steadily and organically, I think they'll have their money. They'll be on the money with this guy. If they rush it,
I agree.
Yeah, if they rush it, it's gonna.
No, here's how I agree, and here's how they could do it. And I said this last week, and I'm gonna keep doing this until maybe they get my idea. Have Roman Reigns be the guy to beat Rusev. Roman Reigns, Rusev, WrestleMania. The alliteration sells itself.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. No,
you want to let somebody want someone to make Roman look real strong. The big Russian, Belarusian, whatever you want to call him, he can do it.
Apparently, there may be plans of putting Rusev against John Cena, and maybe even putting Brie into the storyline.
I think I have no doubts that why would Brie Bella be in this storyline? Wrong Bella.
Well, she's John Cena's girlfriend.
No, Nikki Bella is John Cena's girlfriend,
No,
and I know that because I watched.
No. Nikki is Daniel Bryan's.
No, it's wrong. You're telling it wrong.
No. Brie's the boobs, right?
No, Nikki is the boobs.
Oh,
Brie's
Nikki is boobs. Okay,
Bryan.
you know what? Fuck it. I tried.
Boobs McGee.
Nikki
is boobs.
So Boobs McGee.
Nikki is Tits McGee. Yes.
Yeah. So Boobs McGee and versus Russian Boobs McGee, and I think having that going on, having her probably turn face, and align with Cena to face Russian Cena and Boobs McGee would probably work. They'll probably play it like Rocky, basically. And I do have to admit, I hate the underdog Cena thing. The gimmick has it ran its course like 10 years ago.
It's exactly. It is that gimmick is 11 years old, and it's not getting any more believable. Like, all right, it was kind of like when WrestleMania 20 when he was first coming onto the scene. Like, all right, who is this guy? What are they gonna do with him? All right, it's 10 years of this guy doing the impossible. Like, this John Cena survived a pile driver on the outside.
Yeah, and it's like after so many times that John Cena
a pile driver on cement.
Yeah.
Didn't Randy Orton or somebody or Edge or somebody lift up the cement thing, pile drive John Cena, and John Cena still got up?
You know what? Steven Richards, aka Mr. Retro Arnhem, says they shouldn't have announced Bryan. They should have just gave him that moment in the Royal Rumble where, what they did with Cena, where he just debuted out of nowhere.
Yeah, but I think Raw's ratings were dying so much they needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
way they played that off was perfect.
Yeah, I think so too. I didn't like the fact they kept him off of Raw this week, though. It was kind of one of those things where I think they should have kept the momentum going.
Well, I mean, he's not going to perform, obviously. Obviously, they're saving him in the ring for Royal Rumble. So he's... Yeah, sorry whoever's going to go to Raw. If you're bought tickets to Raw the next couple of weeks thinking you're going to see Daniel Bryan, I'm going to say it's probably a 50-50 chance at this point whether you do. I think, they're going to hold it back, and they're going to save that special cow for the Royal Rumble and trot it out. And you know what? I would like to see Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan is absolutely one of those people that could go 45 minutes to an hour, 1-30 in the Royal Rumble and win it all. And that's what I think the Royal Rumble really needs. It's been a while since someone's done that. Those are usually the best Royal Rumble matches when it's, one guy goes... a long period of time, because it's an impressive feat to do in a battle royal, when you essentially really all you're doing is punching and kicking and taking random bumps here and there.
And I mean, the last guy to do it, well, WWE will not acknowledge him.
Yes. Oh no, but you know what though? Well, we'll talk about it later on that other wrestling show that I watched. But they did actually reference that person.
Yeah, and
not by name though.
That's the thing as well. When it comes to the WWE's overall push.
Oh, see, that's why it won't happen. That's why it won't happen, because then they would have to be forced to acknowledge and be the first person to win since Wild Pegasus.
Well, they are
Yeah.
they are looking at the Cesaro has kind of re-debuted in terms of his push. They kind of renewed it, but this time he's in a tag team with Tyson Kidd,
Which I like it. I like that. I like that tag team. They should be like, I guess, like, I want to call them like a merry bench of pranksters. Like they came out last week on Raw. They were part of Adam Rose's cult.
Yeah.
Which I really think those people are. Those people are a cult, and they're held there against their will.
Yeah, because I like the fact how the Rosebuds are now scared of him.
Yes.
But he looks. The whole thing about it, what makes me laugh is
He looks like you know what it is? It looked like the happy-go-lucky Adam Rose fell into a bizarro dimension, and this other bearded Adam Rose with eyeliner.
It literally
Get it,
is like
bizarro
that episode.
Adam Rose.
Yeah, it's like that episode of Community where everyone has a beard for some weird reason because they're evil.
Oh yeah, no,
to signify they're evil, they've got a beard.
Yeah,
but he literally does, and he looks like the prettiest heel on the planet. He's like, he sits there and
he
goes...
still minces around the ring, though. That's what I'm saying. God. Can we talk about, is that probably the worst NXT call up ever? Or biggest flop from NXT?
Yeah, his previous gimmick apparently was really good. Was like, he was a hunter or something like that, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was like kind of like this weird kind of like stalker guy. But I guess kind of Bray Wyatt was already that sort of gimmick.
Yeah,
but
and then he took a shitload of LSD to the knee.
Yeah. I liked
be a lemon.
This. I liked this gimmick. Like I thought this gimmick had a lot of potential. I thought it would have lasted longer than a month, 2 months before he was off TV and grew a goatee and was now fucking a heel apparently, and wrestling people in bunny suits.
Yeah, it's something where
I believe that was Darren Young revealed as the bunny, but I thought when they were feuding with Darren Young,
who was the
that's
bunny?
What I was hearing.
Oh,
it's apparently supposed to be Darren Young, and that's what I thought they were going toward when they had Rose and the Bunny feuding with Slater Gator, but nope.
Yeah, and then he's like becoming abusive to the bunny. I was sitting there, I was like, you're basically abusing a guy in a suit, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's weird, and they should really just send him back to NXT, repackage it with something, put him in the New Day, which that's something I think that has already lost steam. If you could clearly tell by last week, and that does not bode well for those three gentlemen. I mean, you could clearly come out. Maybe it was just a bad Raw in general last week, but when those three guys came out, there was just silence. I don't know. I forget what was before then. Maybe what was before them just sucked all the energy out of the crowd. But they were just silent. I mean,
yeah.
When Kofi Kingston says, "Come on, say New Day," and I think people just go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the thing about the New Day, and I'll tell you what, it hasn't gotten over, and it's because of the fact. The way they wanted to put it over was they wanted three hungry guys, one with intelligence, the other one with power, and the other one with speed, to be this New Day thing. I liked the gimmick originally when you had these guys full of energy. You can tell the energy's been sucked out of them.
I mean, they've seemed like they had this idea, and now because they only get 7 minutes of TV time on Raw and maybe a match on main event, a match on Superstars, and then maybe 5 minutes on SmackDown. They boil it down to they're basically a glorified church group. Like they are Teddy Long being a preacher away from doing that, and I can absolutely see them doing that. Teddy Long coming out being their mouthpiece and being like their preacher. Oh Lord, we're gonna hear about this New Day. Now I'm gimmicking it up, obviously. But
yeah, and I'm still uncomfortable with this whole firing situation. I think it's just a big slap.
Oh, that's really dumb.
Yeah, completely fucking really pointless.
It was
God.
Again, it's Slap in the face, exactly. I was going
Yeah.
to say that. It's a slap in the face to your audience at this point in time because, you know, a certain level of your audience, uh, you know, knows that these guys are not actually going to fire Dolph Ziggler. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's not just
Really?
that. It's like if it was done.
Really?
If basically they've negated everything that's happened. With
Like, why don't they
Series.
just make Dolph Ziggler's limousine explode? Like, really?
Yeah, they basically negated everything that happened on Survivor Series. They've kind of killed it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess that was you know, kind of the point of having the Authority come back. But I mean, I would rather see, you know, them continuously just like make Dolph Ziggler's life miserable to the point that he quits,
Yeah.
rather than firing him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The thing that bugs me about it
Just
though,
doesn't make sense.
as
It really
well,
doesn't make sense. And
is-
or unless Randy
least
Orton
there's
missed
some
his cue again this
consistency.
week.
Well, apparently he did.
Of course.
Yeah.
He missed his cue again this week.
And I think he can't remember his line.
Too many lines.
Too many lines.
But at
too
least
many
there's some
lines.
consistency. At least they didn't try and make it look like, you know, Triple H and Stephanie just be water under the bridge to the three guys that basically helped, you know, kick him out of power. Cena's in the title match, so you know he wasn't getting fired. Big Show turned on Team Cena, so you knew he wasn't going to get fired.
Yeah.
So at
No,
least there's some
I know,
consistency, but bad way to do it.
Yeah,
Steven
it's like-
Richards says he thinks they should repackage Darren Young as heel Cena.
Yes.
They could
His
re-debut him as
look-
Chocolate Cena. Never give up, and
Always give up.
yeah, always. He's Bizarro Cena. He keeps losing,
Oh, exactly. Always. He
doesn't
would be
kick out of
Bizarro Cena. He would be Bizarro Cena. He's black. He always loses.
and he's gay.
And he's gay. Darren Young is Bizarro John Cena.
So John Cena has boobs McGee. Darren Young would have flat-chested McGee, and we could have like the guy. We could have a guy who looks like Nikki Bella. That would be brilliant.
Oh, God.
He could be a twin
Wow.
as well.
It'd be the what I guess Bella means. I'm like trying to think of something
Baller?
gimmicky in the Balla Brothers.
Balla?
That'd be Crime Time. Like they bring back Crime Time.
No,
But
but
they
the
weren't
Baller
really
Brothers, and
though.
you'll just have like these gentlemen by the name of Ballers. So it'd be Nick and Brian Baller. And you know he'll basically do that whole skit from Friends where he says that he can get a Brian, just for the point of it. But then we would have to find a Bizarro Daniel Bryan. So you'd have to find a kind of
a tall,
tall, dark
Bizarro
skinned-
Daniel Bryan is
who can't wrestle. You know,
Well, it'd be a tall person with a tall, clean-cut person
yeah,
who can't wrestle.
who can't wrestle.
Oh, fuck! He had a beard. I was gonna say that guy who won Tough Enough last time. Tall, clean-cut. I don't know. Never mind. Move on.
So yeah, going on
Yeah.
from that, that was a bad joke gone wrong. And
No, but it worked. I thought it was funny. It made me laugh.
as long as it
kinda
makes
killed
us
it.
laugh.
Exactly. It makes us
Steve
laugh.
goes,
Right?
they didn't bring back the Authority. Howard Sting feud with Triple H. Vince mentioned stipulation at the start of the pay-per-view. Yeah, but it's the way that they did it. I think that's... and he goes, they should bring one, call him Dickie Bella. Or Dickie Bella.
Dickie. It'd be great if like they Dudley the Bellas and they have like all these other siblings.
That would actually make
Bella.
the Bellas interesting.
Sign guy
Side
Bella.
guy Bella.
Oh, God.
Dances,
Sign guy Bella. I
Dances
wish
with
I was
Bella.
eaten in the womb.
dances with Bella.
That's a...
Bella. Snot Bella.
Spike Bella.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, little
well, it
Spike
would be-
Bella.
Yeah, he'll be the scrappy
Actually, it would
one.
be. Oh Jesus. Oh,
What would the
Christ,
drug
Lord.
reference be is what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make it like DMT. It'd be, but DMB.
LSB.
DMB is Dave Matthews.
LSB.
It's killing me. I like for sign guy Bella. It was I wish I was eaten in the womb.
Yeah, and he was just like, Bree didn't tell anyone about me. Nikki didn't tell anyone
Bree
about
never
me.
told. Yeah, Nikki never told anybody. What was, I forget. Like I watched Total Divas. I don't know the name of their actual brother.
They should just have him debut and just have like a whole entire Bella family.
He has like an actual real life. Like he's the normal looking one. A perfectly normal. Like not saying he's a bad looking fellow, but did not inherit the same level of genetics that his sisters did.
Yeah.
I would feel fucking cheated. Actually, like fuck, Christ.
So, going on from that one as well, we are like basically in terms of like the way that Raw went, because we're gonna just touch on it a little bit. I felt
bad.
Yeah, it was
bad. Here, well, Dusty Rhodes it. It was Dusty Rhodes it. It was bad. Everyone's in the ring. They all bad.
Yeah, it didn't. It seemed like TNA put on a far better product than WWE this week.
It's you know what? New Japan put on a better product than both of them, bro.
We're going to talk about that. I'll tell you. We will talk about that. I'll tell you what. Yeah, we will talk about that on the end of the show. But yeah, they had a lot of competition, and the WWE seemed like they were phoning it in a lot this week.
It just.
The one thing that scratched my head. I mean, it made me. I sat there and I was like, why would you do this? Right. Apart from wanting to make Bray Wyatt look strong, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt have their last match. Ambrose has not won one on live TV or pay-per-view yet against Bray Wyatt.
Nope.
He loses.
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you do this?
I don't get this.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, because fuck you, that's why. They seem to have done... Oh, excuse me, hiccups. They seem to have done this several years in a row. Right before Royal Rumble, they just kill off all their storylines before the pay-per-view and, kind of hodgepodge it together before the Royal Rumble. Or basically they keep... it's basically killing off things that's not going to be relevant going forward into WrestleMania season.
Yeah, they've kind
and that's really all trying to transition to it.
Back into the Authority storyline now. Now that these guys have been fired, they've thrown him back into the Authority storyline.
By default, I guess. Right?
Yeah, which is fine, but in the end, it makes no sense to me. This situation makes no sense whatsoever. It bugs me because you're wasting talent. Bray Wyatt hasn't gotten over properly as of yet, and the reason being is because they're not pushing him in the direction they need to. And it doesn't matter if Bray loses a match or two, that's fine. The two of them could have traded wins, and it would have seemed more effective than having him lose every single match to Bray Wyatt. It does nothing for Ambrose, it does nothing for Bray, it does nothing for anybody else in attendance. The only people who lose are the audience, because you have these amazing matches with no payoff. Because remember, the face needs to overcome the heel in the end when it comes to the challenge. He didn't at all. So you killed it. I
mean, unless you're gonna have Ambrose eliminate Wyatt in the Rumble, and that's like his final revenge on him. But I don't understand. That would be the case. I would hope that would be the case, but I mean, if anybody could survive this slight bump in creative momentum, it's Dean Ambrose. I mean, Dean Ambrose is one promo with Triple H away from just like people forgetting about this Wyatt, that he lost an ambulance match against Bray Wyatt. In fact, he doesn't even have to say a word in a promo with Triple H. All he has to do is just interrupt Triple H in any fashion, and that fucking crowd is going to go nuts. And there you go. Bulletproof. His name should be Bulletproof Dean Ambrose, because literally, I think Dean Ambrose could shoot somebody in the middle of the ring. Shoot a fan in the middle of the ring, and people would still cheer.
No, I agree, and that's the main thing.
Bulletproof.
And in terms of characters, in terms of the way that they're progressing, it seems like it's been logical.
You want to know, I think, what your final four in the Royal Rumble should be?
What's that?
Here we go. Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Dolph Ziggler, potentially, if that storyline isn't still in there.
Gotta make him look
Dean
strong.
Ambrose.
Yeah.
Dean Ambrose, and obviously Roman Reigns to make him look real strong.
Seth Rollins as well should be in there.
I think, you know what, though? I think it would be great if Seth Rollins was the final five and they all turned on him. No, Rollins is going to be in the main event, so Rollins isn't going to be
title match.
Yeah, but I've got a funny feeling that the Royal Rumble itself is going to be the main event.
Because they want the it's going to be the main event
with Steph being the titty master.
Oh, God.
He's gonna come after Steph's
would-
titties.
I
Oh,
imagine
fuck.
if like he did run out of like creative gimmick or like creative momentum and like, all right, Dean, what do you want to be now? And it's like, I want to be the titty master. No, seriously, this is what I want to do. I just want to go around and like, randomly grabbing women's breasts and just doing my face and like, your titties just got mastered. Something dumb like
God.
that.
I
They'd
bet
probably
that would get
do.
over big time. He'll be like the face
I
of the
do.
company.
I'd
what?
pop.
You'll be women.
pop.
Women would basically be buying T-shirts saying, "I just got felt up by the titty master."
I mean, could you imagine the Tony Chimmel enters the Titty Master?
Oh, glorious.
Notorious and
Tony
glorious at the
Tremendous.
same time.
Notorious TTY.
Yes, and going on from there as well, we saw a nice little connection and relationship still with Rollins and Big Show, having them being part of the Authority now. Not really much going on. Again, it just seemed a little
Corporation.
bit
It's
forced.
a corporation version 2.0. It's really all it is. Or
Yeah.
I guess 2.5.
They need to build
Yeah.
up themselves a heel movement as part of the Authority. I always believe that if they're going to do it properly and align with every heel on the card. So you would have the Intercontinental Champion, Bad News Barrett, who, by the way, I didn't like his heel turn. I felt like his heel turn was a bit meh.
Oh, he's always been a heel.
Yeah, but he re-debuted as a face.
No, people cheered for him because he was coming
Yeah,
back.
they're
He
happy
got
to see the Bad News Man
You
back.
got the hey, all right.
JBL
We're happy to see Bad
especially.
News Bear.
Dude, he went against
Exactly.
Cesaro, who
This
was
my
the
guy!
heel.
This is my guy!
He re-debuted
and he
as
won
a
that.
face.
But he's still. I think you know what though. He's still a heel. I think they just had to reaffirm to you the fact that he's Bad News Barrett. You can cheer for him all you want, but we still have every intention of keeping his disposition as a heel, keeping small children from hating this guy. That's basically what it is. Heel means small children hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in great shape, I have to admit. Barrett was in amazing shape.
He always comes back and looks in great shape.
No, but
for
he's
6 months.
He's extremely defined now. His body looks like it's in proper cardiovascular shape.
For 8 months, like I said, in 9 months, 9 months to a year, if he's still Bad News Barrett, or if he hasn't become Sherlock Holmes, or Inspector Wade Barrett, or of Scotland Yard, or something like that, like he's wearing a fucking you know what I'm saying, the Sherlock Holmes gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like they're repackaging him and making him look dumb. Give him 9 months. If he can stay healthy and he's still doing this, I'll believe him. I think I've been a big fan of Wade Barrett ever since he debuted with Chris Jericho. But I just think he's always been a guy that they can't rely on because something always breaks.
Not just that, but it's also the fact that the company doesn't know how to push him properly. I felt his the Nexus angle he was in was perfect to kind of put a new guy as the top heel in the company, and they just shot him in the foot.
And then Super Cena came along.
Yeah, and it basically it was one of those. It just didn't. For me, it didn't work. But yeah, he came back. He did his thing. We had another Rusev squash match, and then to top off the show to end it, they fired everybody.
Yeah, and it really just like that means Adam Rose was your main event.
Yeah.
Shit.
This is dead.
Yeah, it's like that moment when they. Yeah, it was like that moment when they had the 11-on-3 tag match of the Shield against every heel on the roster when when Evolution came back, and it was like that moment when you realize 3MB just main evented Raw.
Yeah, I love.
And I think I remember earlier in the night, they actually won a match on Raw, or like the week before. I was making the joke like.
I still think 3MB could have been a very fun tag team stable, like the Three Birds. But they failed to pull the trigger on them. They just didn't want to do it. They had no faith in the gimmick.
I think they pulled the trigger on it as much as they were willing to give them. They gave them their 15 one or
minutes.
two, their 15 minutes on TV a week throughout 5 shows or 4 shows, and let them do whatever they want, but I don't think they ever had any really intentions of it being any further than just giving those three guys something to do. And
Yeah.
then once it came time to cut the cost, once it came become a cost effective measure, it they had to go.
Yeah. So moving on
They
from
couldn't
that.
save.
Moving on from
That raft wasn't enough.
So I would say the WWE currently their product is on life support. I just don't like the current product. I think it's a shame because you've got a guy who's legitimized as being the top heel in the company of Seth Rollins. But he's not. The thing is, he's the top guy on a sinking ship at the moment, and I think they need to put more emphasis on these stories.
I don't think I don't think it's a sinking ship. I think at this point in time, I think it's a Formula One car that's in the garage. They just don't know what's wrong with it and why it's running as fast as it's running.
Yeah, and
It
the thing
it
is,
might be something as simple as just tuning something with your engine, or it might be have to rebuild the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's a shame, But going on from there. Then the kind of the show itself was kind of lackluster in comparison, and then moving on from that. Do
you want to talk about Wrestle Kingdom now? Because I will. Here's just what I would use.
I want to do the Ask Him first.
Okay.
I'm kind of teasing everyone.
Okay.
So let's do the Ask Him this week as well, and lead on to the Ask Him. The Ask Him this week is a pretty simple one. So, speaking of the Royal Rumble. Who were the two? Was it two or three? I believe it was two. Two individuals who debuted at number 1 and managed to win the Royal Rumble all the way to the end.
Okay, I can't answer it though.
Who were the two individuals that debuted at number 1 and managed to win the Royal Rumble?
It has to be 1 because Flair was 2.
Yeah, so was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Oh fuck, that was one of them. All right, so I know who.
Yeah. So we'll leave it.
I'm just trying to think of the other one now.
That's your Ask Him.
Oh, I do have the other one. Yeah. Okay. We do use this person a lot.
If you want to do a bonus, I'll give you a bonus one as well. Who basically managed to win the WWE Championship during the Royal Rumble as well?
Woo!
Yeah.
One of the greatest promos of all time, too, by the way.
So there you go, guys. That's your Ask Him this week.
I totally just gave it away.
What we're going to do is we're going to do go on as well to talk about the show is sponsored by any products. It is sponsored by kayfabenews.com. So who wants to do the Kayfabe News article this week?
Nichols, I'll let you do it if you got one on hand.
Go on. Nick, do you have a
Oh,
Kayfabe?
jeez,
Do you have a Kayfabe News
no,
article
I don't.
first?
Let me look one up quick.
For those who don't know, Kayfabe News.
I do
is
actually. There was
the
one I wanted to
website.
talk about.
I looked on the front page. It's kind of hilarious. Are the site that you can go in for all your wrestling news. Everything here is completely and utterly legit. I always go for my number one source.
I thought my favorite this week was they fired somebody in WWE. They fired something in WWE for not making Roman Reigns look strong or something like that.
Yeah. Or WWE Studios includes articles such as WWE Studios announced.
Oh, it was they fired a can of or did we do? Was that one we already did? We fired a can of like ketchup or something like that, a can of pickles because it didn't make Roman Reigns look strong.
Or include also the WWE Studios announce innovative new strategy to not make films that aren't pure crap.
Yes.
WWE Studios, the filmmaking subsidiary of World Wrestling Entertainment, has started in 2015 with a landmark announcement about a brand new strategy to produce movies that aren't unwatchable, inspired cinematic stink bombs. The strategy is a stark departure from the company's approach to date, which has involved finding the cheapest scripts that no other Hollywood studio would touch, casting professional wrestlers in the lead roles regardless of acting talent, and shooting the movies in a haste for a quick release on straight to DVD market. The proven strategy has resulted in a string of ham-fisted abominations, including See No Evil, 12 Rounds, The Chaperone, Knucklehead, Bending the Rules, the one where Randy Orton threatens to go to the papers if he has to, And according to company spokesman, WWE Studios will now seek quality scripts, respected directors, and capable actors. So no more wrestlers, said the spokesman, and no more scripts about ex-cops, ex-cons with hearts of gold who saved the day. Under the new direction, plans for the Chaperone 2 have mercifully been scrapped. That's one of them there. I want to do a special shout out to another one where it says Punk trains for UFC debut with Triple H workout DVD.
Oh shit!
Aiming to get a peek into physical condition for the UFC debut, honorary foreigner pro wrestler CM Punk has begun an intense workout regime with the instruction of Hunter Hearst Helmsley's new fitness DVD. Setting aside his personal and professional differences with Helmsley, Punk began his workout in Rump's rooms of his Chicago home earlier this week. Helmsley's Power Series DVD boasts 100 minutes of exercises to get you totally ripped. It comes packaged with 30 gallons of expired Ico Pro. I want to get totally ripped for my debut in Octagon, said Punk. I want to look like my idol Ryback. Acknowledged the cardiovascular conditioning is so vital to success in UFC. Punk intends to begin training next week with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley's WWE Fit Series DVD. Punk's first UFC fight rumoured is scheduled in September, but for his first UFC walkout is rumoured to be scheduled for June. So there you go, guys. That has been your Wrestle News article of the week. By the way, you know what? I want to do one more. Just because this is hilarious. And I think you'll get, because we've been talking about it
kills
today.
Time.
Daniel Bryan accidentally proposes to the wrong Bella. This is one that debuted in 2013. This is hilarious. In what has been called an understandable mix-up, professional wrestler Daniel Bryan this week accidentally proposed marriage to the Ron Bella twin. Bryan decided to pop the question backstage at a recent WWE event by sneaking up on his would-be fiancée and handing her a vegan cupcake with no engagement ring embedded in the frosting. He had intended to be present in the ring to a longtime girlfriend, Brie Bella, who actually proposed to identical twin Nikki, who is dating sideline wrestler John Cena. From back, the Bella twins are virtually indistinguishable from one another, which accounted to the confusion. Nikki happened to be wearing a constrictive sports bra at the time that concealed two of her most distinguishing characteristics. Nikki, assuming that Bryan was just making a joke, responded accidental proposal with an emphatic homage to Bryan's catchphrase, yes, yes, yes. So there you go, guys. That was your Wrestle News article of the week. Now, moving on from that, let's go.
We didn't do the gimmick.
Oh yes, sorry. That was sponsored by WrestleNews.com, where wrestling's
still
real.
KayfabeNews.com.
Sorry, did I say Wrestle News? Oh my god.
You did.
Brain fart. I do apologise, guys. This is what happens when you do it live. This is sponsored by Kayfabe.
Also when you don't sleep.
Exactly, at all. This is sponsored by KayfabeNews.com, where wrestling's still real to us.
Damn it!
There you go.
Don't worry, I'm still here, folks. I'm on top of things.
He is.
I'll keep this show.
He's like John Cena on Nikki Bella.
I'll keep. No, sometimes I got to carry the match, man. You know, don't worry about it. I'll call the spots
I think John
from
carries her a lot. Do you think he military presses her? Does she make Cena look strong?
I would military press the hell out of that woman.
Yeah,
God bless that man. I don't know why he does. Never mind.
What we're going to do is we're going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom 9, and then we're going to go on to our next bit, which is basically talking about our Royal Rumble predictions, who we feel are going to win the Royal Rumble match. Now, going on from that, Mr. Liggian was talking about Wrestle Kingdom 9. I have been a wasteland of a human being this week. I've literally been dead. I'm zombified because I have had sleeping problems this week. So I didn't want to watch Wrestle Kingdom 9 until I was in an emotional state that I could do it. Because at the moment I watch anything like comedies and stuff and I'm not even laughing. I'm just like, So
you're just going through the motions, and we understand.
It's on my back burner in terms of listening.
And I'll tell you what, whenever you do get out of this funk that you're in, and I hope it's soon, please do yourself a favor and watch it, because you will be treated to some of the best professional wrestling you will see in 2015. I guarantee you. It's only January the 8th or 9th right now.
Yeah,
the 9th. You will still be talking about Wrestle Kingdom 9 December 31st, 2014.
So
guarantee you.
Let's tell me what I've been missing. Tell me exactly what you feel has been great about the show.
Well, all right. We'll start it off right from the bat, because the commentary team, if the commentary team of Stryker and Jim Ross didn't get you to watch it, then I don't think really anything else doesn't get you to at least check it out. I don't think anything else really will. So that's what initially piqued my interest. Other than it being New Japan, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I wanted to see how this new commentary team of Ross and Stryker would work, calling this, this unfamiliar product that they're not not used to doing. Because certainly Global Force Wrestling is betting their company on this partnership working out. So this has to work, right? Or they're doomed.
Yeah.
And it took them a while, but it did. The first match of the night was a Young Bucks match. I don't remember the four participants in it. I remember it was the Young Bucks, Kozlov, and Rocky Romero, Bobby Fish, and God damn it, who's the ROH Tag Team Champion with Bobby Fish right now? Burhan, do you remember
The
those
Reed
off the top of
Dragons.
my head?
It's Bobby Fish and
I can't remember the other guy's name. Yes, there you go.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly. Yes. So and then there were I can't remember who. Okay, so it was Reed, Richards, and O'Reilly, Bucks. No. Who did I say the other tag team was in this match?
No idea.
I don't know. Yeah, completely right. Anyway, I thought Jim Ross was going to have his head was going to explode, calling all the fast-paced maneuvers of this match. I mean, I think literally this was the first match of the night. Jim Ross was trying to get his sea legs into him, so he just let Stryker do all the work. But I literally thought Jim Ross was going to just like throw his headset down and start yelling at the Young Bucks. Just slow it the hell down! You're going too fast, boys! Like, I can only imagine if the Young Bucks tried to do that match in the WWE, what they would got. But needless to say, fantastic match nonetheless. The Red Dragons retained their title, their tag team titles, and it was again a great match. I'm not gonna go break it down match by match by match and all this other stuff because there were just great matches. What I liked about this show was its fluid nature. They didn't really spend much time on promos. There's really only like 3 promo videos in the entire thing, and they were only hyping the main event matches. We flash forward to the end of the card. There was a great match by Jeff Jarrett, which was I didn't think I'd actually see a great match by Jeff Jarrett. You saw 2 guys beat the hell out of each other. You saw 2 MMA legends of Japan, Minoru Suzuki and Sakuraba. They had a fight. They had a legitimate fight, and Suzuki choked out Sakuraba. It was unbelievable to watch 2 guys in there. Sakuraba's got to be almost in his 50s by now, at least. That was fun. It was after that was when Jim Ross really started to get into it, and we got some of the best matches of the night. We got AJ Styles, who went up in a match against. Who doesn't go up against Ibushi? I forget what the fuck. God damn it! I forgot the guy's name already. Weed. Don't smoke weed, folks. It does terrible things to your memory.
And don't stay up all night, every night.
Yeah, don't stay up every
Right.
night, then you forget it. But let's face it. Let's say the 3 matches of the night that you need to watch, or the 2 matches of the night that you need to watch. Kota Ibushi against Shinsuke Nakamura, and Tanahashi against Okada. If Nakamura's entrance alone doesn't get you, doesn't sell you on the New Japan product. I mean, let's face it, the two biggest influences in life are Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury. The guy comes to the ring with a giant crown on his head and a fucking jacket that looks like Michael Jackson's, military jacket thing with all the lapels and all this other fucking shit. That's Shinsuke Nakamura. Entrance speaks for itself. The 2 guys had a great match, put on a great match for the IWGP Intercontinental title. Nakamura ends up winning. Nakamura Bomaye. Great match, That I can understand if that's not for you. That one was a little too Japanese. Might be a little too Japanese for you. Tanahashi and Okada, though, they had a match that was on par with, I mean, Steamboat Flair, Steamboat Savage. I mean,
Steamboat everyone.
Steamboat everybody, basically. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it was, again, I don't know where this match is going to rank in the pantheon of matches of the year, but it's already my favorite match of the year. I mean, if you haven't watched it already, after the show, guys, like I'm telling you, go watch it. This is how a wrestling event should be. Everything crisp, straight to the point, no fluffer BS.
Yeah,
It worked, man.
It basically did what it was supposed to do.
Absolutely, dude.
So in terms of a pay-per-view, what would you give it overall?
I give it a 10 out of 10, man. I mean, it had me. I watched it twice. I mean, the first time I watched it, I was half falling asleep already, so it put me to sleep. Yeah, I think anything would have put me to sleep at that point. I blame Jeff Jarrett at that point. But I mean, I get it's the best pay per view I've seen this year, and WWE is going to have a hard time trying to top this because if they're going to continually offer New Japan pay-per-views through the New Japan World that are going to be a service that they're offering, or they're even going to be a pay-per-view, regular pay-per-view thing that people are going to carry, WWE's going to be in trouble, man. They're going to have serious competition for wrestling fans because wrestling fans, if you like pure wrestling, and that's what Japanese wrestling prides itself on being, just best pure wrestling there is, fucking, dude, watch it.
Damn,
I can't stress it enough. I can't stress that enough, man. I got a lot of heat from my friends that are saying, "Oh, it's just two fat Japanese guys smacking each other around." No, sir. No, sir. Absolutely. Jim Ross. How many times have you seen Jim Ross pop from somebody doing a drop kick? Have you ever seen Jim Ross like legitimately lose his mind from someone doing a drop kick before? No, that happened on this show. Kaz Okada did a drop kick that made Jim Ross flip his cowboy hat. I've never seen. I haven't heard Jim Ross react that way since Stone Cold. Stone Cold. I mean, he was legitimately into it. By the end of the show, like, it was weird listening to Jim Ross at first because he clearly was not, like, I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but was trying to learn a bike, trying to gain up speed. He was letting Matt Stryker do the play-by-play, and he would just chime in there with little stories. I guess the highlight of my favorite thing that he said during the night, during one of the what was called the Open Weight Championship, which was, again, just the two Japanese guys beating the absolute shit out of each other. There was both guys. They were talking about Bruiser Brody the entire night, and Stryker was saying, "Oh, just Bruiser Brody." This is like Jim Ross just goes, "Well, I just called him Frank," because that's what he called him. I don't know. I thought that was funny. Little things like that, anecdotal stories like that, made the show all that much more enjoyable. If you paid whatever you paid for it, you definitely got your money's worth. If you're like me and you went and got it through underhanded methods, you definitely bandwidth well spent.
Yeah.
I can't recommend it enough, man. I really can't.
You should beat yourself with a stick and go, "Hey."
It's if you can't enjoy if you can't enjoy this pay-per-view, you can't enjoy wrestling. You don't enjoy wrestling at all. The WWE has jaded you, and you can only watch and truly enjoy the WWE product.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. That's that for us as well. Now let's talk about a little bit about the Royal Rumble, because we're coming closer to pay-per-view time. Mr. Host of Hosts, what do you think we can expect from the Royal Rumble itself? Let's talk a little bit about the match, because Stephen Richards was talking to us about, he feels that Bryan is going to be the guy who wins. He's going to be the man of the match. He'll be the guy who wins the Rumble. What are your thoughts on this?
Nick, do you want to go, or do you want me to take it first?
I'll go first. Honestly, I'm glad they have more than one, viable option to win the match. Because obviously, I think the only option at this point would be Roman Reigns. We got to make him look real strong. But with Bryan back, what they should do is he comes in, he wins the match, and then with the Authority back, you have that. You pick that storyline just right back up, and now you have the Authority trying to screw Bryan out of his title shot, yada yada yada. So
what would you guys think would be the most logical decision then?
Look, the most logical decision is give Daniel Bryan the shot because again, Daniel Bryan really got about what a month and a half of a push, of like actual like chance to run with the ball. Give Daniel Bryan a chance to do with it. They don't have to push Roman Reigns just yet. They could still make him look real strong by keeping him in the Royal Rumble, but they don't have to pull the trigger on Roman Reigns just yet. They could let Daniel Bryan get just a little bit more moment. I'm not saying they have to pull the trigger at WrestleMania again this year and do the same thing 2 years in a row, but they can definitely will not afford to fuck this up again with Daniel Bryan, and I think giving him the belt giving him the win at the Royal Rumble is a good way to make up for the last 8 to 10 months or so.
There's a picture of a toaster being sent to me. Said killed over 500 people last year, including Sheamus.
Yeah, no, that's Sean. Sean's on this new crusade. I'll tell you everyone Sean's new crusade. Great friend of the program, Sean Walker. Likes to fuck with me. Nearly caused an epic catastrophe in this show last week, where when he messaged me not 5 minutes before we went live, I don't think it was might have been during the Nigel McGuinness thing too. I think, dude, no, I think it was the week after. He messaged me that Matt Hardy was dead.
Oh,
and me being me, and hearing that story, I'm thinking, well, it's might be at least somewhat true.
He was like, it was bound to happen.
It's bound to happen. I figured that was bound to happen. I'm not surprised. And I literally, had he done that 5 minutes later, I would have gone with it on air, and then we would have had to issue this whole retraction.
Because Matt would have got pissed off.
If it did get picked up, it would have just been bad news. So Sean seems to be on this repeated crusade now to troll the show in his own way.
Oh, fucker!
I mean, he could just come on the show, but this is how he chooses.
People, they're saying that HBK was number 1 when in '96. Wasn't he number 2?
No, he was like number 18 or something, I think.
No, him and Bulldog when they both debuted at number 1 and 2.
No, him and Bulldog were 1 and 2. I don't remember
who was HBK or was number 1 Bulldog? I believe HBK.
It was
number
HBK.
2, HBK was number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it was HBK.
And then Bulldog was afterwards. Yeah, all right, because you got that big pop. You got that big pop, right? So maybe it was
go back watch it. I'm looking now. HBK was 1 Burhan. Oh, okay. So it looks like we've got 3.
Okay.
It looks like we have 3. This is the first time I got it wrong. Okay.
Yes, and it's because of sleep deprivation.
Right. Number 1. We've had 3 number 1 winners, including Shawn Michaels, HBK, Rey Mysterio.
No, Mysterio was 2.
Was he 2?
Yeah,
so
he was 2.
I'm right then. Okay. I'm right. So it's HBK, Chris Benoit, or as most people call him, Chris Benoit, at number 1.
Or as they referred to him, they referred to him on the New Japan pay-per-view under his New Japan wrestling name as Wild Pegasus.
Wild Pegasus.
Yes, he was Wild Pegasus.
Royal Rumble records. Rey Mysterio at number 1. No, I was right. It's 3. Because Rey Mysterio won it in 2006 from... it was 1 hour and 2 minutes. 2004 was Chris Benoit, 1 hour and 1 minute. Shawn Michaels doesn't seem to be on there for some reason in terms of the record times.
But we knew it was.
Shawn Michaels did it in 38 minutes and 41 seconds.
Wow.
That's how long. I guess that was like a. Yeah, every minute someone came out that Rumble.
No, I thought it was always every 2 minutes.
They
No,
also have the
this
list.
Rumble was
They
every
also have
minute.
the list of wrestlers who didn't last long, including Santino Marella at 1 second.
Yes.
The Warlord at 2
Yes.
seconds.
Yeah,
Percent.
like 1 point.
Mo
Yeah,
at
barely
3.
under the Warlord.
Owen Hart at 3. Bushwhacker Luke at 4. I remember he just walked in. They clotheslined him out the ring and he just walked out.
Yeah, that's what I love about Bushwhacker Luke. He literally doesn't stop doing the Bushwhacker move.
Total
He
most
gets in
Rumble
the ring, do the
appearances.
Bushwhacker move.
Diva entrance.
Yep.
With Beth Phoenix, Chyna, and Karma. But I'm looking. I'm trying to see on the records who won at number 1. Shawn Michaels. I'm trying to see who won. About 96. Okay. Bret Hart versus Undertaker for WWE Championship. I am trying. I believe it's the first time I've got it wrong, peeps. It could be the first time I've got it wrong.
Oh my God.
The poster is Big Daddy called Diesel kicking Owen Hart in the face. That's brilliant. Shawn Michaels won by eliminating Diesel on the 30-man Royal Rumble match. Wait, that's 96.
That was 96, yeah.
No, but he didn't eliminate Diesel. He eliminated Bulldog, didn't he?
In 95, he eliminated Bulldog when he only 1 foot touched the ground. In 96, he eliminated Diesel by super kicking him over the top rope.
Yeah, but that one was Shawn. So that means
He didn't go from 1 to 30 in that one. That was the one he won in 38 minutes. I think that was the one he came in at number 18.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at the
90
Wikipedia page for the 95 Rumble.
So that would be
too,
90.
so.
It'll be 95, would it? 94.
Right, 95. 95. No, 94 was Brett and Luger.
Yeah, it was Shawn Michaels. Order number. He came in at number 1. Okay. Yeah, because Jimmy Del Rey came in at number. Wait, one sec. Shawn Michaels. It doesn't put him at an order number. He doesn't have an order number on here for some reason. So Shawn Michaels is technically number 1. So yeah, so it's Michaels and Benoit. This year, one of the first 2 will win, I predict, or at least. Okay. So I was right. All right. So Chris Jester, you are the winner.
All right. So you didn't fuck it up.
No, I didn't
completely.
I got the 2 wrong in terms of what it is, but it's right. I was corrected by Jeremy Dougal, who has his own show called the Retro Renaissance Podcast. Not the Retro Renaissance Podcast. It's he has a previous show that he has on the Retro Random Network. Top Tier Game Reviews. He's currently debuting it season 2 with Norm McLaughlin. Check that out. He's got it on Blog Talk Radio, blogtalkradio.com. Top Tier Games. Chris Jester has won our Ask Him this week, and I think it's the first one he's actually won, and it is with the answer of HBK, Chris Benoit, being the 2 entrants who came in at number 1 and won the entire thing. I remember the storyline and build with that was amazing in terms of Benoit's push. Shawn Michaels came out of nowhere because we thought that Bulldog won. Shawn was the first person to do a Kofi Kingston where he hung off the rope, had 1 foot touch the floor, and then won the entire thing. So there you go, guys. That was your Ask Him for this week. So, Mr. Host of Hosts, we were talking about the Rumble. So, my opinion, I'm thinking I'm going to say Daniel Bryan from number 1 will win the Rumble if they play it.
Yeah,
smart.
I think they have to. They have to do something like that and I mean, that's the only way to have Daniel Bryan do it properly. I mean, they could have Daniel Bryan win from 30, Busaiku knee everybody. Everybody goes home. He points to the side, but that's not Daniel Bryan's style.
Yeah, that's John Cena.
Exactly. That's Daniel Bryan's got to win it.
That's John Cena bullshit.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's either got to win it win it by either not getting actually eliminated, like they put him up against Kane or something like that. Kane choke slams him through something. He wasn't technically actually eliminated. They roll him out. He comes back in and he wins. Something dramatic.
I really don't want him to do that. I want him to last.
No, I don't want him to do that either. But
yeah, I would rather have him do what Michaels did, which was
I'll see him almost get eliminated about 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, and
really
just stay in the match while they're focusing on other guys, but he's sitting there in the corner, taking a breath. Do you know what I mean? I think it would have been a lot better for him. I don't like that idea. It's the moment they do that, it taints everything about it.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing about if they mention it from one, they have to mention Benoit. So, I mean, maybe not one, maybe two.
Yeah,
because they don't have to mention Benoit from that way. They
but
mention Shawn Michaels that
yeah,
way,
that's on that one. And I think it's a good thing.
They do it from one. They have to mention Benoit.
Yeah. If they do it from one, it's brilliant. But I do see it as a way that the Authority is going to have plants in the Rumble to try and stop Bryan. I think that's what they should do.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the Raw, the Raw that we see over the next 3 weeks. That probably might have been the reason why Daniel Bryan was kept off Raw, because it's really going to be building towards him now for the next 2 weeks, leading up towards the Royal Rumble. So he'll be, the full focus of the storylines. So maybe that's probably what we're going to see over the next 2 weeks of Raw is, the ordering of the Royal Rumble. And the Authority stacking the deck thereof against, whoever they want to.
And that's what needs to happen. I think they need to play back the entire storyline. Are we allowed to say Benoit, or do we have to have
I think you know what they do. You know what they do is they have, like, obviously we're in charge here, so who wants the next thing?
Well, the thing is, Roman's not ready. That's you can see Roman's not ready.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, the Authority doing that, the Authority taking it to all the other heels on the roster and being like, okay, who wants the number 28 spot or the number whatever the spot that's
they'll be
mathematically caused enough winners.
You won't see people qualifying this. You'll probably see the faces qualify. Right?
Yeah, the faces qualify. The heels will get awarded positions in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. People who stayed on the good side of the Authority, in a sense.
Yeah, watch the Big Show come in late. Watch Mark Henry maybe come in late. Watch
Henry's not going to be in the Rumble. He's injured.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see Rusev.
Watch Rusev.
I've got a funny feeling.
Rusev.
If Rollins loses the RR match, if he loses the match with Lesnar and Cena, he's either going to do two things. He's either going to enter the Rumble
at 30.
Yeah. Or he will be at a situation where he'll cash in the Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah.
We'll probably see that.
I see maybe like Cena, if this whole Lesnar UFC story is legit, and they've finally grown sour with having a champion who's not on their TV show every week, I could see them maybe having Cena beat Lesnar, LOL, and then Cena being so damaged after the fight that's when Rollins uses his opportunity, because he's not, as beat up as John Cena.
Yeah.
Well, I can see it happen where it ends up with Cena winning, and then Cena beating Lesnar beating the living crap out of him, and Rollins picking the spot. I could see that. Or if Lesnar beats Cena, we're going to see Lesnar in a situation where Rollins picks him apart. But I don't think we'll see that, because I think they want to keep Lesnar on side in a sense.
Yeah, I think Lesnar works until WrestleMania. I don't think they're really ready to shift that yet, because that's still a big draw. And I'm not even totally really until I see Dana White standing with Brock Lesnar on a front of a podium, a UFC podium with cameras and people and microphones and shit. I don't believe anything I hear about Lesnar going to the UFC. Lesnar's going to be 38, and I admit he's a freakish athlete. Exactly, he's a freakish athlete. Nothing to prove. He has nothing left to really even perform. He has nothing left, man.
A wise physically move for Lesnar would be to stick out his WWE contract and just be
get his millions of dollars to occasionally show up on Raw and F5 somebody.
Yeah,
that's a good paycheck if I've ever
or even work as, you know what I would love to see? him be Rollins' bodyguard. I literally just be the
Oh,
guy.
cool.
Well, I like to see. I think that's what they're kind of angling or subtly angling for is this Dangerous Alliance 2.0. I'm going to call it with Lesnar, uh, Rollins. Maybe I'd like to see putting Kidd and Cesaro in there with it as well, and just this Dangerous Alliance with the the Authority,
Oh
and
God,
then
Jester. Oh, bad taste.
What
We're
is he?
talking about there's a Benoit thread that's kind of put up on my timeline, and one of them is saying, Jeremy goes, he did what he did. If people could forgive OJ, they most definitely could forgive Benoit. And Jester goes, he was a family man.
People haven't forgiven OJ.
He smothered his kid with love. He was a kind husband.
Oh,
A kind husband that you would die for. That is.
Well, all right.
No
Now, you know what
words.
though? No, there's nothing any of them could say about Chris Benoit because the MVW clique has the best Chris Benoit jokes because every time after the incident happened referred to the crippler crossface as the cure for autism.
Oh God.
oh.
But think about it this way, right?
We are
the
all
fact
awful
is,
people.
Look at O.J. Simpson, who's still considered one of the greats in American football. He even released a book saying, "If I did do it," the balls on the guy released a book
He didn't
saying,
actually
"What if
release
I did
it.
do it?"
He didn't actually release it. I don't think. I think he was going to publish it, and then people heard about it, and excerpts got out, and then people were just like, no, fuck, we
Are
can't
you
have this.
fucking
We can't.
insane?
We can't actually publish this. This isn't a good idea.
Yeah, I don't understand what it made no sense to me whatsoever. It didn't. By the way, guys, if the show is also sponsored by WWE Supercard. Check it out because it's a free app game and it's so much better than WWE 2K15. I literally have been having so much fun.
Look at
with
the
this
picture I just posted in the Wrestling Revolution Facebook.
His personal life was none of my business. His professional life was fun to watch. Anvil Neidhart used to date, rape, anal fuck girls. Admits it in a book for a couple of reads, but still was a great guy.
But Neidhart didn't kill anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's degrees between rape and murder.
Yeah, but I think there's a line you don't cross there. But we're not that kind of show. Yes. We're not going to sit there and talk about who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah, but then again, if you're a Republican in America, rape's no big deal.
Apparently.
Boom! Fuck you,
yes.
Republicans.
That's for another show at another time.
It's a legitimate rape.
Exactly.
Is it legitimate rape or illegitimate rape?
Anyway. What do you mean if it's basically him or Heath Slater?
No, it's yeah. Anyway.
Did we talk about that? I think we talked about that last week. That was just why come out now. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, let's continue and go on to our Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week. Oh yeah, I do have it. Oh fuck! I just plugged my iPad in downstairs. I gotta go downstairs to get it because it was a doozy.
Shit.
A doozy of a doozy. Shaky Baby was all over the world this week. Of course, there was the big football game to talk about. You know how Shaky loves Tony Romo, but there was one in particular that caught my mind, and I don't think I retweeted it, but I wanted to, and that's will probably fucking kill me for time. But yeah, man, it was good. It was a good one, and you're gonna like it. Because I know I laughed my fucking balls off about it. Oh, see, it's not. I want to go with this one. The dead dog play better than the Knicks because that's actually absolutely true. But I won't. I won't go with that one. A lot of people. There's been absolutely unanimous support and approval over the Iron Sheiks movie. So if you got a chance to go check out the Iron Sheiks movie, please do so. It's a pretty good $5 you could spend from everything that I've been reading on the internets as I'm stalling for time as I try and fucking find this thing because I knew it was a great one. It was an absolutely great one. Andy, here it is. So Andy, Iron Sheik was obviously quite incensed after the Cincinnati Bengals again failed to win a playoff game this year. Seems to happen again and again and again. But Andy Dalton, you have fucking baby cheese crouton balls and a fucking Cheeto dick. Go fuck yourself. That, ladies and gentlemen, was your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Fucking bullshit!
There you go, guys. And
Lovely.
let's now move the show on to plugs. So, Mr. Nick Horacek, where can we find you?
All right, you can find me on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. You can find me on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. You can find me on Facebook at Nick Horacek in the Wrestling Revolution group, posting any random wrestling thing I could find, whether I'm posting this insanely overpowered Road to Glory Sting Pro card.
I don't
I'm
understand how
posting-
the fuck people are basically... I've seen these like 4,000 stat cards. It's... How the hell are people leveling up this much?
Yeah, well, the road to, like, the People's Champion Challenge cards are higher, than the regular, Survivor cards. So that's part of it. And two, like, I think, like, the Damien Mizdow Survivor card, I mean, it's like 2,500 in, like, each category or something like that. But Jesus. Like, oh, I will have gotten this, but yeah. Or I'm posting, something, the Roddy Piper line from They Live. I have come to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of
That's actually
bubblegum.
one of the greatest one of the greatest movie quotes of all time, I think.
And it's also used in Duke Nukem
I love it.
as well. Duke
Yeah.
Nukem used that line. So, Duke Nukem using your line, you're a fucking motherfucker. You're amazing. Roddy Piper, in my opinion,
Exactly.
he was one
Roddy,
guy that
Roddy
could have
Piper, over as fuck.
Yeah, he could have been a guy. I think he could have been a standout actor.
Shoutouts to JT Dunn.
He would have been
Let me use his catchphrase.
He would have been basically a standout actor if they had let him be. I think he's one of those guys who was kind of misused. If Vince should have allowed him. But yeah, let's
Totally.
go on to
Yeah, but I'm also on the. Hold on, I got one more plug to make. And I'm also on Xbox Live at X27, the Wii U. I'm playing a lot of damn Advanced Warfare. I'm fucking blasting motherfuckers in the face with a shotgun. I love it.
Okay, go to youtube.com/TheNerdGenius. Head up to Lawn Boys Post 1975 on YouTube for Mr. Dave Wave. Of course, he couldn't be with us because there's a big storm going on, and BT disconnects his internet every time there's a fucking storm or a cough or someone farts.
He's out there. He's out there. Shoveling his town to earn shillings or something like that. I don't fucking know. I was trying to make some sort of Dickensian reference, and it just kind of fucking stalled out. What is it you do over there?
And I'll put out a little thing this week. I'm gonna be doing a ton of videos, and I'm gonna be uploading them onto my YouTube channel. I'm currently partnered with Maker Studios and Dailymotion. Check out my Dailymotion channel as well, because I'm gonna have the YouTube and Dailymotion videos the same, including premium content. Wrestle Ramblings returns. A Rather British Review returns this year. My birthday's on Sunday. If you know me, go to facebook.com Michael Burhan, or send me a tweet at Twitter at Michael Burhan, and give me a good happy birthday tweet. I've also currently lost my part-time job that I was doing, so anybody out there, if you send me a tweet, I'm hashtag Burhan does all the jobs, and tweet what job you think I could do. It can be anything ridiculous or insane. Let's make it fun. And
Burhan's gonna do the JOB on the PPV.
I'm gonna do the JOB. And you know what? If anybody wants me to wrestle a match and job to someone, let me know. I'll be in the next job squad. So there you go, guys. On me, youtube.com/TheNerdGenius, youtube.com unlimradio. Find us, add us, subscribe, lafights.com. Go in there for Nigel McGuinness, because of course wrestling does matter to each and every one of us. I've donated $39. Dave's donated £50 at $75 as well himself. Each and every one of us are contributing. It's gone up to 43,000. If we're going to make it work, we've only got 28 days left. In order to make this work, you need to contribute a lot more, peeps. We need to find 250 grand to get this project off the ground. If you know anybody, if you know people, companies, corporations, get them involved. The only way that this is going to work is if we can raise this money. Silent Hill Genesis Kickstarter is coming in the next couple of weeks. It looks like I'm going to be home a lot more, so I'm going to be spending a lot more time doing other stuff also. And I think we haven't had a creepy Paige moment, so I think I'll do that.
We haven't had a creepy Paige moment, but they are coming because Paige is on Total Divas, and it is fucking awesome.
Yeah, plus the fact she said "suck it" on Total Divas, and I was like, "Does she mean literally?" So there you go.
Oh my
creepy
god! Like this is what I am afraid of. Like I am actually falling in love with this woman. Like I would hang out with this woman. She pranked Natalia to telling her that there's weed in the brownies. Like that's fucking great, man.
Well, you know what you should
God.
do. You know what you should do?
What?
I think you need to basically
make videos and take my shirt off and post them on YouTube.
No, I think you should do my videos declaring your love for Paige and send it to her with a tweet, road to restraining order.
I would much rather do it the normal way, like casually meet at a bar someplace. Maybe
where is
Uncle
she?
Bill.
Do you know where she's appearing next? And then you can see if you can meet her in a bar.
Wizard World. That's what I said. I hope WWE still has their deal with Wizard World. Maybe.
Well, that was a Punk deal, wasn't it? Because I remember that Punk was supposed to do that.
No, but WWE still does it. They still send people to Wizard World.
Cool. So make sure you go for them, Mr. Host of Hosts. Take us away.
All right. Alrighty then. So again, you like this show. You spent 2 hours roughly listening to people talking about professional wrestling. You like professional wrestling. So go out there. It's your local high school gymnasium, your local fire department hall, your local bingo hall, your local VFW hall, your local bar, your local whatever, and support independent wrestling, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there with a dream and trying to make it happen. It's out there. Professional wrestling is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. Support it, because that's where the next generation of the sport is going to strive and survive. So yeah, you can find me on the Twitter at Brandon Allhope. Hit me up on the Googles. Whatever. I'll answer your tweets. Whatever. I'm a normal person. I fart and poop just like everybody else. Happy birthday to my dear friend Michael Burhan on the air. I'm sure we'll do it several times again, but this is wishing you early birthday on this program. Yeah, they're playing my song. So for Michael Burhan, for Nick Horacek, I'm Brandon Liggian. Go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and humptiness to all. Bye.
This show is sponsored by Wrestling for $1. Yes, for those people who can't feed their families because the WWE wants to take their career professions away from them, it's sponsored by those. It's for each and every one of you out there who need to basically make a living, do what you love. There are alternatives. Make sure you go to lafights.com and check out the wealth of other products out there, ladies and gents. This show is also sponsored by me giving Natalia anal, because I think, much like Angle, there needs to be like a kind of a tag way there. I think she would laugh like her dad when that happens. Or she wore the beard. Oh yeah, the beard.
I actually get I think when she, I don't know, maybe this is really good.
Ha yeah, ha ha.
When Natalia's having an orgasm, yeah, she goes ha 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 ha, yes, 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 ha ha ha.
Ah, we're such creeps.
Oh wow.